Hello, listeners. This is Dan the GM, welcoming you to another edition of What the Dice. What episode are we on? It is episode 35. 35. Big 35. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed these episodes, as I've absolutely enjoyed listening to them over and over and over as I edit them and adding all the really cool sound effects. So, how about you guys sit back, relax, and we're going to get on with today's episode. I don't have an announcement today. Hooray! On with the episode. The moon has set as we look out across the ocean. Behind us, we can feel the warmth of the morning sun hitting our back. Turning, the old man starts to make his way up to the campsite. Well, me friends, Kalila has a very special book, but all books are special in their own way. They all transport us to strange worlds and give us information we had not had before. But it seems as if the adventurers need someone to translate and understand the book more than they do. But on an island that no one knows where they're at, how will they get back? How will they continue their story? Sit back, me friends, and hear me tale.
Where we left off, Nytlin had just received the repaired book that you guys have been gathering. The old skeleton leans back on the table behind them. Anyone else have any questions for them?
Mr. Bone Person?
Yes?
Defibrius will reach into his pack and take out the one book that had all the information from his family and the missing pages torn out of it. Think you can fix this one?
Taking the book, he flips through it. He goes, "This book is complete. These other pages were burned. If you could find the shards and get them back together, then the pages would be repaired."
So, find the shards, fix the book.
Yes.
And where does one find shards?
Well, the gnome family that wrote this, they surely have those pages either torn up somewhere or something, because I see the page edges are still here, which means the pages aren't completely destroyed. They're just not all together.
Yes, but why would my family rip up pages?
I wouldn't know why the limited life of the mortals would do such a blasphemous thing to knowledge.
Well, yeah, we were all about collecting knowledge on it, not destroying it.
Holding the book out, Skeleton gives a light shrug and goes, "Well, it seems not all in your family respect knowledge. Some have hate for knowledge."
Ah, so you met my brother, have you?
I have not left this temple in a millennia.
Kind of a joke. Ignore it.
Looking at...
So,
Go ahead.
hearing the whole "I haven't left this in millennia" and like multiple things that this bone per skeleton has mentioned, Kali's gonna go, "So you wanted to become a skeleton and stay here alone for that long?"
There were others of us, but the bone god convinced them to join his path. I am a lover of knowledge, but sometimes it is hard to think new thoughts when you're as old as I. I have read all the books. Some of the knowledge is beyond me, but I still enjoy reading what the short-lived have written.
Since you have read all of the books here, is there I know Klyla has a god that she communes with, and I have a goddess that I commune with. Is there ways or information within these books to contact them to? I don't want to say gain favor is a like favor type of, but connect with them further.
Well, I've never really been interested in the other gods, but all of their books are in the religion library. If it has been written about them, the
There-
recordings have come to me in some way.
Since this is a temple to the bone, well, god and goddess, is there written knowledge here about them?
It is all forgotten. I do not write as my hands are not strong enough to write. I am able to bind books with skill, but writing is a little beyond me. And
But is there any books already written about them here in their own temple?
no, and what is written here you have access to at that holy city that you've come from. We have the exact same books. The bone god and goddess were forgotten long ago. Their books destroyed and they forgotten. Or she would be here herself letting you know all that you wish to know.
Is there a way to contact her?
He rubs his head slowly. A chunk of bone lifts up and then sets back down. They are trying to return, but there is difficulty.
From what?
The Pantheon stops them, they stop themselves, their essence scattered in the wind, their knowledge lost. It is hard for a god to come back from the void.
Is there anything that we might be able to do to assist?
He gives a light shrug. I am unsure.
Is there anything we can do to assist you in any way, shape, or form? Since you have stated there were others, but now there are not, and we are here currently.
He shakes his head. He goes, loneliness is an emotion that only the living feel. I am living in a different sense. Yes, eventually my bones will falter, but then I will continue to live in the purest of essence.
Okay. I didn't necessarily mean that you were lonely. I was just wondering if there was something that we could do for you.
He shakes his head no. I do have a question for you, though.
Please ask.
How did such strange mortals find the island? It is said to be not on any map.
Well, you could say we did not find the island, that the island found us, or in the sense of how we got here, one of the bone god or goddess has brought us here, possibly, maybe, by a giant skeletal hand,
Hmm.
wrecking a ship. But maybe not wrecking it? We are unsure. For when we arrived, we were not technically wet like we had been in the ocean.
He nods. Well, he wouldn't want you to stay on this island more than you need to. Would you like assistance getting back?
At least the knowledge of how to return would be greatly appreciative.
He nods and shambles off slowly and begins looking through the bookcase and through some drawers. While he searches for the item, is there anything anyone would like to do?
Well, I definitely want to read about my goddess. If there's like a book to skim through or of that variety, because he said the books here, or the knowledge here, is the same knowledge back there, but depending on what's written in it, I may or may not have access or be given access to that knowledge.
So, in the religions library, you would have been able to find a book that is your goddess's book. So it would be a book of hymns and stories as well as rituals that you would be able to grab.
Okay.
It would be on the same level as like what the scholars would have.
Okay. I'm going to ask him if, because he kind of rebinds books, if there's a way that I can get a copy of it with me.
He walks over, placing his hand on the book, he pushes down. The book in your hand stays there, but on the ground, another one appears. He goes, I will take the original. Taking the book from your hands, he sets it on the table behind him. The book that fell is a copy you may have.
This is most favorable. Thank you very much.
He nods. Looking at Defibulus, he goes, that book belongs to you, though.
It does?
Nodding, he returns to his search. Kalila, anything you would like to do?
No, Kalila's still a little bit in shock that this bone guide knows that they came from specifically the Holy City and apparently has all the knowledge as to what books exist in that library versus this library. So yeah, no, I'm good.
Then I'm going to ask, do you hit advice if he would know the way to possibly contact the bone god, then, since we're still kind of looking for the scepter and we haven't gotten anywhere?
And that is true. This temple was supposed to contain the knowledge of the scepter.
And we came here and we learned a lot of stuff, but nothing to further our quest.
Maybe the place has information on the other relics we're all supposed to be looking for, too.
True that. We
Could.
can ask that too.
After a few minutes pass, he hands Clyde a small piece of metal that is in the shape of an arrow. He goes, the map room will help you return home. As for the artifacts you seek, he walks over to the bed, lifting the pillow. He pulls out a small book and begins to quickly read through it. This doesn't give me exact information, and I cannot let this book leave as it is the mistress's diary. But I have a feeling you need to at least know what to do. There is a volcano that houses a great army. It is near a land that is swollen with iron. There, you will find the way to find the scepter.
I'm assuming that knowledge came from that book.
Yes.
Are we allowed to read it?
He holds it out to you.
I will try and take it and read it. Not the
All the book's pages are blank.
What about with red lens?
No. But you notice that there is writing on the book that he rebound.
Ooh, okay. Well, I will hand the blank diary back and then investigate my book.
In common on the cover, the Book of Bones, the lore and hymn of the great god, prayers to the great bone goddess.
Nudge Clyde and be like, this might help us out for when we get back to the boat. And hold up the lens so he can read the title of the cover.
I'm also going to look through the lens to look at my book to see if there's anything maybe there's written on there.
Nope.
Dang, dirty apes.
The skeleton returns the book to its place under the pillow. As he walks out, he looks around and he goes, it has been a while since this place has been cleaned. I must get to that in case the goddess ever returns.
We understand, and we thank you very much for the time you have given us.
He nods. He goes, well, time for me is never ending.
I do have a completely random question.
Yes?
What's with the dimensional closets and the time sand thing?
What do you speak of?
Point to the closets that Clyde and her went in that like stopped time, and she played with a time dial or the sand timer. She'll explain that and be like, that's in your closets.
He goes, the Library of Realms and the Library of Time. Yes, they are tests to make sure those who enter are worthy.
Of what?
Well, it seems as if the mistress hid the books there.
Alright, you're not wrong.
Essentially waiting for us, since she probably knew that we were the people that had to come, just like when Defibulus's grandfather found it, but could not go any further.
Kalila's just going to sigh and head towards the map room.
Do I have that correct? Do I have that correct? It was your grandfather?
His grandfather or great grandfather. I don't remember which.
So what are you guys going to do? I know Kalila said she's heading to the map room.
And if we go to the map room.
I'm actually going to ask him, since he is, or it, whichever one you wish to discuss, is so very knowledgeable. If there's anything that, knowing that we are here, oh geez, everything just got shifted. Any advice or knowledge that he thinks we should be aware of?
He stares at you for a long moment. And he just slowly shakes his head no. He goes, I only see what has been told of me. I don't know the future.
I understand, but we thank you for all the knowledge you have given us.
He nods. Are you joining the team in the map room?
Yep, I should probably go as well.
In the map room, what do you guys want to do?
Try and figure out how to use the arrow thing that they handed us.
Well, someone did find a compass-like thing in the center of the room. That was only detectable through the red lens.
I thought that. I don't remember who that was. But either way, we will use the lens.
In the center of the room, you see a small compass. Written in there, you see north, south, east, west. The compass is entrenched in the stone, and the only thing missing is the actual indication metal arrow thing.
Yeah, and now we have that metal arrow thing, but the old bone guy didn't tell us how exactly to get home or to use this thing. Kalila's gonna look at the short round and be like, all right, any idea? Handing him the lens and the arrow pointer thing that goes in the compass.
He will put the monocle in, or on him. He goes, oh, now I kind of feel all snazzy and rich-like.
Good look on you.
He'll go over and investigate the compass at the moment.
All right, you saw what I described.
With his engineering know-how, he will attach the compass needle to the compass properly. Words. The correct fashion.
Once it's attached, it begins to spin faster and faster until a strange black crow flies off from it.
Well, that was kind of neat.
Soon, your vision begins to go black. All of you. A few minutes later, you wake up on the beach line as the ship pulls up to the land. The rat crew walks up, giving you a light shake to wake you up. The captain walks up to Kalila. A strange bird came with coordinates, telling us how to get here.
Kalila will wake up groggy, going, in a manner of speaking, we sent the bird.
Well, it's been a few weeks. We have been looking high everywhere for you. We never expected you to end up this far east. Or
Weeks?
west.
Weeks.
Sorry.
Kalila's stuck on the weeks. Like, she's just in shock looking at the rat dude going, weeks?
Yes, it's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
All right, I'm... Not to sound insane, it's been like a day.
For us, yes.
The captain gives a light shrug. He goes, I've seen many a strange thing on the sea, so I'm not going to question this.
Yeah, we've seen some things in the dark swamp. I'm not going to question it either.
Would anyone like to give me a perception check?
And can we have a different map?
Yes, I can give you a different map.
Thank you.
26.
22.
All of you notice that the temple is now gone.
Yeah, Carla's ears are just going to go
Figures.
flat back. Like, and look and check to see if she still has all the things that they gathered, like the red lens, the book.
Yes, everything is there.
Is the torch we left on the beach still there?
Yes. It is burned out, and it looks like it has seen some weather.
Well, I can't argue off of the weathering of this torch from what our captain says. Also, so far east, where are we?
West.
Oh, okay, west.
Hey, Captain.
Yes.
Is this island even on your charts?
No, it is not on the charts. Pulling up the chart, he shows. So if you follow the main trade route, usually you would veer off to the south here. But we were told to go here. Pointing at the map, it's literally the edge of the paper. And right here is where we found this island.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
On the edge of the
Indeed.
world.
Quite literally. Or at least
So
on the
I
right map.
believe we need to get you back to the Holy City, as I'm
Yes.
assuming they are needing or want an update from you.
Yes. Also, thank you for searching for us for 2 to 3 weeks.
Of course. You were classified as precious cargo. We were not going to leave without you.
Kalila's going to smile at that.
That, and I would not want to return to the city without their heroes.
Yeah, they might not like you so much for that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, really, I hope that they wouldn't hold that against you. But here, anyways.
anything else you guys want to do on this island?
Make sure that Rune is with us.
Rune is with you.
There we go.
Turn around and, I thank you to the space where the place was.
So, back to the Holy City. Is that what you guys want to do?
Yes.
Okay,
Sounds like it.
give me a moment. I need to jump maps.
Why not just walk to the map? It'd be quicker.
After a long sail, you return to the Holy City.
Is it
You are
sad
welcome.
that I kind of miss this music?
What?
didn't mean to interrupt you. I said, is it sad that I kind of miss this music?
As you arrive, there are several scholars there to meet you. The lead rat, the old rat scholar, several of the paladins, as well as higher nobility. You were welcomed back as if you had been gone a lot longer than you felt. Granted, it was a long boat ride back. The old rat seems to push past everyone. Did you learn anything? Please tell me you have learned something.
Are we even off the boat yet?
No, he is literally walking up the gangplank.
Tyler will yell back, yes!
What have you found?
You really want me
Things
to yell
and
it?
stuff. When we come and get ashore, we will meet with you and inform you of all the information we have learned.
Well,
Soon-
don't take forever. And he just walks back down the gangplank.
As I'm assuming the boat is still actually like slowly pulling up to the dock and being tethered.
The gangplank has been dropped, but no one was supposed to walk up it yet. It was still being secured. This old rat gives no dams.
Well, I could jump off.
I will not.
The dock gets the ship moored and the gangplank is fully secured. Several people greet you as you walk in, more welcoming you as you've been gone a while, welcome home type thing.
Well, yeah, we've been gone for apparently like a month.
Yeah.
Over a month.
Has
The old rat is tapping his cane on the deck waiting.
Kalila will jump down to him.
What have you found? Please tell me it is something of use.
Yes, much. And she'll hold up a book.
Looking at the book quickly, he opens it and he goes, "There's nothing written in this."
And then she'll hand him the red lens.
Taking the monocle, he holds it up, looking at it, and he goes, "Ah, well, I will get started on this." As he
Ew.
walks off reading.
Kalila's gonna follow him.
Stopping, he looks back. What?
I'm coming with you.
Well,
It's in the book too. I haven't read it. I'm assuming I read it on the way back.
yeah.
I only read it.
A lot of it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's a lot of reference to this god and reference to this war, and
Which
there's-
is fine. She'll be like, we got more to talk about than just the book. I should.
he stops. He goes, "Well, there's more to this welcome than what you see here. I will let the blowhard deal with it," and just walks off.
you know who that means?
Oh no, I'm sticking with the rat. I'm gone.
The rat stops and goes, "We have found some information out that you need to hear. Go talk to the blowhard. I will get started on this right away."
Do we have to listen to him?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Let's hear it. Now I want to see if a gale will come up and his hair will move.
It is a windy coastline.
He figures he's going to study his hair while they're talking to him.
Of course you would. Kalila, are you rejoining everyone?
Only because I must.
As you meet up with everyone else, Sir Reginald is handing Clyde a scroll. In it is a letter written in Orc, talking about how if the humans do not leave their territory, they will be forced to ransack and destroy everything they hold dear. Sir Reginald has a solemn look on his face. "Mr. Holdkeep, as you see in this note, it seems as if the orcs of the southern region over by, what is that town? Ironhold, have had Ironhaven, a small town of Ironhaven, is being assaulted regularly by some orcs. We need your small group to go and do some, shall we say, reconnaissance. We need as much information as we can. The few paladins we have sent were too noisy and ended up being flattened in the nicest way possible. Your group seems to have a strange knack for dealing with such strange creatures. So, the priestess has asked me to inform you that you will be traveling to Ironhaven to deal with these orcs, be it by peace or by war.
Defibulus will quietly lean over to Kalila. I mean, we do deal with him on a pretty regular basis, don't we?
Yeah, why?
Well, strange creatures, strange person. Seems kind of normal.
Oh, he kind of fits into the one thing he's talking about.
Is there a reason why we need to deal with these orcs?
They're orcs. They normally cause mayhem and destruction, don't they?
Oh, and they are doing quite a rowdy thing. They have gathered up troops and are actually creating a small war bunker. They have taken over a small mountainside that has all of a sudden become an active volcano. We feel as if Ironhaven is in the direct path if this volcano erupts.
Hold on a second, Mr. Paladin guy.
Sir Reginald the 13th. Yes.
Yeah, you. Hush a second. Didn't someone say we needed to look for a volcano?
Actually, that's what the scepter was by a volcano.
Well, I mean, that's convenient. Okay, you can continue blowing air out your mouth hole.
Seemingly undissuaded by the obvious insult, he goes, so, we have a, he looks around as if trying to be coy, sneaky way of dealing with this. I feel as if you four can sneak into that camp, disrupt whatever going-ons there are, and maybe even take out a few.
Are they doing anything wrong?
Well, they have kidnapped several humans, murdered several others, burned 2 other small farming villages that supply food to Ironhaven, and I believe they have launched a fiery boulder into Ironhaven. Maybe someone died. We are still waiting on the full report on that one.
Okay.
The priestess and I feel as if you four will be the best choice.
Do we know if the humans there did anything to them first?
No, that's the strange thing. These orcs have said that it was that Ironhaven belonged to them and that the first wave of their settlers were driven away. But as our records show, that has been a human settlement for a very long time. And that it was a settlement before there was an attack of monsters and other creatures.
Correct. But that does not mean that they took it first. I mean, the humans took it first away from the orc settlement, just like we take the forest away from the wolves and the but we don't consider them evil when they try and take it back.
Well, this is true. But at the same time, do you really want a bunch of orcs getting access to the armory that is hidden inside of Ironhaven?
For the first time ever, everyone kind of sees Clyde kind of internally battle his thought process.
I'm gonna quietly go up to Clyde and go, "What's wrong, Clyde?
It is my hometown.
Isn't that all the more reason to go back there and help them?"
In speaking of being honorable, it seems like that is the best way to approach this. In speaking of personal feelings that I need to put aside, other thoughts come to
What-
mind.
Is it? I'm assuming you don't want to talk about this on the dock, but Maybe we should discuss this first.
I believe that is possible. I have come to value my comrades' thoughts and opinions.
We'll nod and look at Reginald going, we will discuss it.
Of course. Now, scurry along home. Have a good rest. I will see you in the morning.
I'm sure we'll hear you before we see you.
During this conversation has passed since Defibulus has been honing in on watching Sir Reginald's hair. No, the wind does not affect it.
I'm going to, because somebody else may not have thought of it, inform our housekeeper that we are returned.
Okay.
Hey, Kalila.
Yeah?
I don't think that paladin's natural.
You know, given the things that we just went through, we were talking to a skeleton.
Yeah, that seems more normal than this guy. His hair doesn't even move in the wind.
I'm more perplexed as how he's always so jolly, but let's talk about that later.
I wonder if he's evil.
Possible.
He worships the same god that Clyde
He's
does.
a paladin. He's truly evil on the inside.
Okay. Well, you all return to your homes. Home. When you arrive, the house has been kept immaculately clean, and it seems as if they had made sure that there is fresh food delivered. Rune begins to prep a large meal. Fresh meat, vegetables. You three have the sitting room that you can sit and discuss in. Would you like to do that now?
Yes.
All right. Go.
Once they're home and door closed and blah blah blah, she'll look at Clyde and be like, so what has you personally bothered about this mission they want us to go on?
Well, where I have come from, it is a more of a banishment per se, for under false pretenses, from a greedy family holding the honorable name almost as a captive per se.
Are you saying you were banished under false pretenses?
Correct.
What was the false pretenses?
Worshipping evil god, being a outcast. I was probably the only honorable person to come out of my family in several generations. And when I tried to uphold that honor within the town and the city that I was born and raised, my family locked me up.
I'm gonna say, man, it sounds like your family took a page out of my brother's playbook.
You two do have something like
It
that.
is quite possible.
Are we related? If so, I think I got the better looks.
Lila's just gonna stand there and compare the heights and say nothing.
Within the closed four walls that I had is when I had the darkest days of my life, and then also the brightest day of my life when the goddess was shown to me and a sign was given.
Well, since these were under false pretenses, you going back and being a legitimate paladin now would, I think, prove them wrong, would it not?
We like to think so, but anyone can put on the guise of something else.
True. But you are officially being commissioned by the Holy City. I don't know how well they work with the human territories. but we need to get that scepter. So we might not have to go into the town because I doubt your town is on a volcano.
Oh, that would be horribly bad, but great for heating.
No, but a volcano has arisen, so it may not have been a volcano. It might have been one of the mountains near it where the town gets its name for its iron.
Here's
Go ahead.
here's the thing. So these orcs, Mr. Hair doesn't move. So these orcs, did you guys ever have trouble with orcs?
13th.
Yeah, Mr. Talks a lot, doesn't shut up. Did you guys ever have issues around your town and territory with orcs before?
Well, that is actually how my family received our last name. Many years ago, many generations ago, before the town and the city could even be called that, more of just a settlement for mining, I guess you could say, because of the iron there, we held off. My ancestors held off an invasion of not just orcs, but of enemy creatures. And several of my family held the keep doors and walls, so the rest of the people of the family, the children, the wives, could escape. And at that time, the king of, had given our family the land in the area and bestowed upon us the ruling of that for holding it for that long, so families and other people could escape.
Fascinating. I'm just curious though, because it's like, we've dealt with orcs before, and most of the time they're pretty consistent with her being, rowdy, raiding stuff, and being general nuisances. Do you think this new change in your family of, banishing you and exiling you and all that fun stuff could have re-riled up the problems with the orcs?
I believe it's quite possible, because the family that is in the area now are quite lax in what they are doing, and they are more about, the quote-unquote finer things of life. They don't really, they're not really military grade anymore, and my name has been gone from the honorable holdkeep of where we had defended the land against a impending evil and assisted numerous people, family, friends, and where a title was bestowed on a commoner's family. That is huge. To now, they are just sitting in their home, taxing people, drinking, and doing all of other things of debauchery.
I'll happily put a bullet in them for you.
Well, I appreciate the sentiment. If it would come to that, I will,
You're welcome to stab my brother if you see him too.
Understood.
Clyde, you can put a couple arrows in him. I won't mind.
So if the border patrols and the skirmishes have been completely lax, they probably think it's an easy target now to continue and start anew.
I just, normally they, like I said, they constantly do this type of stuff, not just out of nowhere raise an army and go, we want our land back, because, most of the time they don't even talk to you. They just stab first, roar at you, and scream things in orcish languages that are generally rather rude.
And that is very true. But leading up to, the recent times, we had the land under control, the surrounding areas under control, and patrolled enough that we could that we didn't have the skirmishes anymore that we used to have.
I just, like I said, I just think it's odd that they even spoke to you guys first, demanding their land back. Why not just do the orcish thing like they normally do and screaming spittle at you, then throw an axe or something, or whatever orcs throw at people. Or
Sometimes
do they throw people?
that too.
So, it is Rune begins to hand everyone dinner, and as you guys discuss, we are going to close out on this episode of What the Dice.
So our adventuring parties must now decide on how they're going to be dealing with this strange orc encampment that threatens Clyde's old home. Wonder what they'll deal with when they get there. Maybe some family turmoil. Maybe Clyde will have a chance to reconcile with his family by words or by blade. Well, I may know the answer, but you do not, for that episode has not arrived. Well, me friends, may the dice gods bless your every roll. We here at What the Dice would like to thank Paizo for creating Pathfinder, Epidemic Sound for our music, as well as Sirenscape for our sound effects. If you would like to reach out to us, you can do so on Facebook at What the Dice Pod, Twitter at What the Dice Pod, and of course email whatthedicepod@gmail.com. And if you liked our little adventure, please share us with your friends and rate and review us.